might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. You know, it's really fun for me to be with you here today. I've been here all day, and I've been very touched and really overwhelmed by the big heart that you have at Tesco. And you know, as I present in a lot of different venues, in a lot of different countries, literally all around the world, I've sat in your seat, and I've asked myself, when this guy comes on the stage, what's in it for me? You know, how's this going to make me and my team a little better? Well, I've come to the conclusion that the quality of any presentation is directly proportionate to the volume of applause that welcomes the speaker to the stage. So if you want this to be world class, you have to do a little better than whatever that was you just attempted. Could we try it one more time? Here's Chester. Yes! Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Cheers. I know, it's a cheap trick, you know, but I like it. I want to talk to you a little bit today about the power of recognition and the power of a culture of recognition. We haven't seen a lot of thank yous here today and appreciation. I want to start off by saying this, that I think there are very few differentiators left in business. So many things can be commoditized so quickly. And I think there are two that are left that I think you understand at Tesco very well. The first is leadership. You can never have too many good leaders. That's why you're here. Tesco investing in you to make you better leaders. The second is culture, because they're very hard to replicate. Everybody can do the basics, but culture is a differentiator, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Well, Adrian Gostick is my co-author, and we wrote a book called The Carrot Principle. Very simple premise. Somebody does something great, you notice it, you recognize it, you give them a carrot. Right? Now, I want this to be fairly interactive as you can be with 9,000 people. I brought a lot of carrots that we're going to pass out. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way he can throw a carrot up into the balcony. That's why we brought the Frisbees. I was delighted that health and safety let me do this, okay? So pay attention. Let's not get anybody hurt. But here's your first skill testing question. If the carrot is the reward, what is the opposite of the carrot? Just yell it out. The stick. I'm going to throw this as far as I can. Our first winner of the day is him. Give him a cheer right there. And up in the balcony, are you ready? I'm sure someone knew it there too. Cameraman, look out. Incoming. Nice catch. So we'll have some fun. Well, I will tell you that as we traveled, we picked up these various nicknames, which was kind of fun. We worked with DHL in Bonn, Germany, and they dubbed us the Deacons of Dankeschön, the Ministers of Motivation, the High Priests of Praise. One of my favorites was the Dalai Lamas of Workplace Traumas. That was a good one. But the Toronto Globe and Mail, Canada's largest newspaper, and where I grew up in Canada, dubbed us the Apostles of Appreciation. And as the great bard says, would a rose by any other name smell as sweet? Well, my friends here at Tesco, let's cue the music. As an apostle of appreciation, my brothers and sisters here in Birmingham, I am not here just to give you the case studies and the numbers. Oh no, I am here to preach and teach the power of appreciation. Can I get an amen? Can you put your hands in the air? Let it sway like you just don't care. Give me a little hallelujah. Gonna be more fun if you participate. Yeah, I can see you, pal. Okay. So good fun, right? You can stop the music. Well, as we did all this stuff in recognition, it was really fun. Great results. People were more engaged. They gave that extra little effort. Customer service went up. But then it was pointed out to us that if you don't get the culture right, it doesn't matter. If you don't get the culture right, it doesn't matter. So we studied a lot of different cultures, and I want to share some of them with you here today. Now, it may not be in your industry. In fact, it's not. Don't let that bother you. Think about what is the principle, and can I take that back to my team, to my colleagues, and make it just a little better? See, at the Hard Rock Cafe, they have this philosophy that there's a little bit of a rock star in everybody. I'm right, aren't I, Carl? You were this close from the band, the entourage, you got tattoos we don't want to see, pal. Okay? But here's my point. Do you treat your customers a little differently when you look at them as rock stars as opposed to just hungry? I think you do. See, that's the power of culture. Now, what they did at the Hard Rock Cafe a couple years ago, they put out one of those engagement surveys. You know the ones I'm talking about? Are you satisfied? Would you recommend the job to a friend? Will you be here a year from now? Their survey only had one question, and it was this: tell me why your job rocks. Isn't that a great question? And they said, be creative in your answers. People wrote poems, they drew pictures. Some of them made YouTube videos. And with their permission, I'm going to play one for you. Now, I'm going to introduce you to the dishwasher at the Hard Rock Cafe in Amsterdam. Now, as you watch this video, I want you to pay particular attention to the words he uses to describe his job, and then we'll talk about it. Cue the video.
Now, this is the Hard Rock Cafe, as you see. I go always this door to go to my work as a dishwasher. I just want to tell you guys that a dishwash is not really a dirty job, you know what I mean? I really have fun what I'm doing. I work like 3 years now, and I still like my job. I just want to show to the world that you can be a dishwasher and you can still have fun doing the dishes. I just feel free, I can be what I am. You can't find a job like that, you know? This is what I think. I love it. Let's go inside. Follow me. Let's go to my work.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Give it up for the dishwasher. How great is that guy? Okay, so what were the words he used to describe his job? What did he say? Free. Isn't that, who said that? I've got it. Oh, in the back. Oh, I love that you're far away. Here we go. Incoming. Hopefully it gets to you. Oh! I'm out. It'll never get better than that. No, free. Free to be what? Free to be himself. Not many of us want to be the world's greatest dishwasher, but it works for him. He said fun. Did you hear that? Do you think you'd give a little bit of extra effort when you have a good laugh? Somebody at work? Absolutely. And then he used the L word. What did he say? I love my job. Like you love your job, I can tell. Yeah. And see, what was really interesting to us is we found that in every high-performance culture, there was an emotional attachment to work. Not just what you did and how you did it, but why. I loved when you talked about your charities, about helping, the store that was flooded, about helping get food out to different people and assisting Down syndrome kids. See, that's the why. And when you get that emotional engagement, things get really good really fast. Well, we use a lot of music when we teach and when we speak, because I think music is a real emotional engager. How many of you listen to a lot of music? Like in your cars, yeah, when you're working out, right? Have you ever had this experience where a song will come on and it takes you to a specific place and time? Isn't that remarkable? Takes you back to, when you're in high school or college, your first love, your first kiss, when the divorce was final, those seminal moments. So we're going to play Name That Tune. We're going to play 3 songs and we're going to talk about the business principle. You guys with me? Can I get a yeah? Okay, here we go. Can you name this tune? Cue the music. Hard Day's Night. There we go. Incoming. And I'm sure you got one there too, pal. There we go. Oh, and let's see. You can stop the music. We got a winner. I think up over here. I think this is going to work. Incoming. Who's going to get? Oh, didn't even move. Good for you, pal. Hard Day's Night. As leaders, I'm telling you, if you don't get the culture right, if you don't appreciate your people, it's a hard day's night for everybody that works for you. You understand that? Cue the next song. Here we go. That's what friends are for. I love it. Where are you? Give me a target. Who is that guy? Okay, incoming. Make sure he gets it. Pass it up. Oh, teamwork right there. Great. In every high-performance employee, they had a best friend at work. Isn't that interesting? Not just a colleague, but a best friend. That was engagement. Here's the last song. I'll bet you can name this in one note. Cue the music. I'm a believer. Here we go. in the back row. I'm a believer. See, we thought long and hard about the subtitle of our book, that it would be How the Best Organizations Create a Culture of Belief that Drives Big Results. And that was that sense of belief. I love this definition of a good culture. A place where I believe what I do matters and it makes a difference. And when I make a difference, somebody noticed it and celebrated it. Make sense? Well, we wrote this book called All In. Really kind of interesting. We introduced it with a story about a historical figure. He was really kind of interesting. His name, the Great Blondin. Now, I doubt, Philip, you've ever heard of the Great Blondin. Am I right on that?
Too young.
Okay, too young. Okay. So from the guesses on the board, who do you think the Great Blondin is? Is it Reese Witherspoon, Pamela Anderson, Marilyn Monroe, a French tightrope walker, or a tight French rope walker? What would be your guess?
D.
D, a French tightrope. Congratulations, you win the book. Give him a round of applause. Yeah. So, his real name is Jean-Francois Gravelet, and he grew up in the circus tents of Europe. Well, he decided to do a tour of America, and to kick off the tour, he decided that he would be the first acrobat to string a 1,700-foot wire across Niagara Falls, and across the falls. No safety net, no safety cord, no nothing. And it was a huge success. So this became his thing. Every time he came on tour to America, he would go to Niagara Falls and cross the falls. He understood in entertainment what we understand in business, and that is you just can't come back and do the same trick over and over again. You've got to continue to offer something new, reinvent yourself, to raise the what? Raise the bar, that's right. And that's what he did. One time he went across on a bicycle. One time on stilts, one time blindfolded. He was amazing. But most often, he would show up with this little wheelbarrow and do various stunts. My favorite was he took his wheelbarrow to the middle of the falls and pulled out a kerosene stove and cooked an omelet, because he's French, and lowered it to the Maid of the Mist, and the crowd went crazy. Well, the story is told June 30th, 1859. 25,000 people showed up to see him, and he starts working the crowd. And he says, "Who believes I can cross the falls?" And they all cheered, "We believe." And then he said, "Who believes I can cross the falls with my little wheelbarrow?" And again, they all cheered, "We believe." And then he asked the all-important question. He says, "Well, if you all believe, which one of you will get in the wheelbarrow?" And a hush fell over the crowd. Break eye contact, tie your shoe. Finally, a gentleman in the back waved his silk top hat. He says, "I'll get in." It was his best friend and his manager, Harry Colcourt. And he said, "Harry, I appreciate you volunteering, but I wanted to prove a point, right? It's easy to say you're going to do it, but will you actually get in the wheelbarrow?" Here are the two questions I have for you this afternoon. As leaders, are you all in? And then, is your team all in? Because if you can't answer yes to the first question, you'll never get a yes to the second question. And what's your brand as a leader? Are you engaged? Are you transparent? Are you doing your bit for the community and for your colleagues? What is your leadership brand? Well, we talk about being engaged, enabled, and energized. What does it mean to be engaged? Well, I think the definition is fairly simple. It's discretionary effort. Engaged employees give you just a little more. Kind of plays in with your theme pretty well, doesn't it? Well, when we talk about appreciation, a lot of times people say, well, that's the soft stuff. I've got hard things to do. Let me check the boxes. Let me hit the numbers. I'm here to tell you, as leaders, if you get the soft stuff right, the hard stuff gets easier. And let me prove it to you. And by the way, I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't already know or don't already think you should be doing. It's the stuff your mom taught you when you were 5 years old. What did your mom say? Remember to say, please and thank you. Leave the place a little better than you found. Don't bite. You know, stuff like that. 4 things I want you to take away. Good recognition is you do it now, do it often, be specific, be sincere. Do it now. See, when you do it now, you communicate in a very powerful way. You see, when do you do important things? If it's really important, when do you do it? You do it now. You don't wait till the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the quarter, the end of the year. You do it now. It communicates value. Now, if you're a sports fan, right, you get the trophy right away because rewarded behavior gets repeated, and the trophy reinforces that. And when do they give them the trophy? They give it to them right now. They don't say, oh, well, let's wait till the end of the year and pass them all out at the same time. They're still in their kits. I'm going to come down here and talk to you. This will be fun. This woman put both her hands high in the air. We're going to come talk to you. This is going to be more fun than you deserve. Here we go. Stand up. Here we go.
My husband's going to kill me.
Yeah. Your name is?
Joe.
Joe. And you are madly in love.
Emphatically.
And happily married.
Happily married for 2 years.
And so it's the same person?
Yes.
Oh, good answer. Instead of every day, because that takes up a lot of time. You know, you're on the phone. No, Joe, you hang up first. Do this. Just have a year-end banquet. Just once a year. I love you. Wouldn't that be better?
No.
Why?
Because it requires daily appreciation for you to feel happy on a daily basis. And the happinesses that you would get from an end-of-year banquet would last a month.
Excellent. We're on a bit of a time constraint. Thank you. That's wonderful. And do you like hearing it?
Yes.
Often?
Yes.
Because you're high maintenance?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I was just saying what they were thinking. Yeah. No, and you really can't hear it too much, can you?
Not really, no. As long as it's sincere.
Yes, good point. You see, I love you in your personal life translates to thank you in the workplace. It's really that simple. Now, pay attention, pal. It's I love you in your personal life. It's just thank you in the work. Don't get that mixed up. It can cause HR all kind of problems. Oh, do a little something extra, a little more every day. See how it works? That little extra something is what makes all the difference. And I love that you understand that. Well, have some fun. Next time one of your employees does something great, a colleague, really something outstanding, don't just say, hey, great job. I want you to go up to them and I want you to say, you know what? That was Remember, you are the owner of the culture. And you as leaders set the parameter. If you want your colleagues to do a little something extra every day, you've got to do it. If you want them to be involved in the community, you've got to show up. If you want to care about their families, you've got to ask, right? That a little better every day. It's the little things that come for big results, and I love that you get that. Well, we talked about a lot of things. Don't try to do everything. Pick 2 or 3 things. You know, get involved in your colleagues' personal lives. Maybe you send a little flowers, or you do it immediately. You take a little note. You call them out, right? I love that when people see the logo Tesco, at least I would hope that they would think of a story behind that logo. The story of the charity, the story of the flood, the story of the flowers, because that's what Tesco is, and that's the heart of Tesco. I want to share this with you. We do all this research, we write all these books and stuff, and we can prove it to you that if you do these things, business gets easier, people are more engaged, you create a great culture. But don't leave it at work. You know, when was the last time you wrote a love letter to your spouse? Well, you probably do it once a day, you don't count, but my point is a little note in their backpack saying, you know, thank you to a minister or a friend. You know, it's tough out there. Everybody needs a little encouragement. You know, you'll leave this wonderful conference and you'll show up at your stores and your locations and, you know, your colleagues will join you. And you know what you don't know? You don't know what they just came from. You don't know if they've had bad news or an argument or a tragedy. Here's what you do know, is that the time they spend with you, wearing that wonderful Tesco logo, can be the best 8 hours of their day. That they believe what they do matters, that they make a difference, and when they made a difference, you noticed it and you celebrated it. Who wouldn't want to work there? Well, last question I have for you. We've talked about a lot of stuff. Will you take it back with you, and will you share it with your teams? Will you do that? Yeah, not quite the response I was hoping for. You know what I'm saying? As the minister of motivation, at the end of the sermon, the preacher asked for an affirmation from the congregation. What does the congregation say? Amen. Can I get a yes? Cue the music. Can you get your hands in the air and give me a little hallelujah? How about a wow? I say we are. You say all in. We are. We are. We are. My time is up. You guys are great. I cheated you out of a Frisbee over there. I'm going to try not to hit the lamp. Here we go. Incoming. Cheers.